Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, today we are going to present our work. So, first of all, let me introduce our member. They are me, Bayu Ursanzul Fajrhani, Atika Nailil Uyun, Amin Rahdia, and Bara Ali Yahya Sarif. So, what are we discussing now is the hypothalamic and hypophysis, anterior and posterior hormones.
Hypothalamus is very important in our body because he is the link between the nervous system and the endocrine system. So the hypothalamus receives information from our body like temperature or even it could be danger and responses by producing hormones that's stored in the posterior pituitary to be released later when the body needs it. So hormones that act on the anterior pituitary push to secrete hormones on its own. So briefly, hypothalamus takes the action and the pituitary enforces it. So between the hypothalamus and the anterior pituitary, there is a hypophyso portal system. This system is composed of tiny capillaries that moves hormones quickly from the hypothalamus to the anterior pituitary. Then these hypothalamic hormones could be classified. We have stimulatory hormones and inhibitory hormones.
Anterior hormones. In the part of anterior hormones, there are 4 stimulatory hormones. The first one is TRH, or thyrotropin releasing hormone. The TRH will a product of thyroid stimulating hormone, or TSH, and make more thyroid hormones. The function of this hormone stimulates the pituitary gland to produce thyroid stimulating hormone, or TSH, and slow down or speed up the heart rate, raise or lower body temperature, and can effect weight loss to weight gain. The second one is CRH, or corticotropin releasing hormone. This hormone will stimulating adrenocorticotropic hormone, or ACTH, and will stimulating adrenal glands to form cortisol and secrete it in bloodstream. If it too much release cortisol, negative feedback is sent to anterior pituitary to decrease ACTH. The ACTH will act to stimulate the adrenal glands to release the hormone cortisol. And the hormone cortisol function to control the body's response to stress and control the blood pressure. GnRH, or gonadotropin releasing hormone. This hormone will stimulate the gonadotropins, or FSH and LH, and will project the maturation of gametes. After that, it will project the sex hormones. The GnRH will trigger the pituitary gland in the brain to secrete luteinizing hormones, or LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH. In the mind, LH function to trigger the production of testosterone, and for the FSH, the function is to regulate the balance of testosterone levels in the body. For the woman, the LH function is to release of eggs from the ovaries, and for the FSH, the function is to stimulate follicles to produce the hormones estrogen and progesterone. And the next one is GHRH, or growth hormone releasing hormone. The GHRH will stimulating growth hormone and has a direct effect on lung bones and other tissues and making them grow. The other function of this hormone is implicated in the control of food intake and enhancement of sleep.
Inhibitory hormones. The first one, which is GHIH, signifies to other organs in our body like digestive tract, send the feedback to AP to secrete least growth hormones GH. Prolactin's inhibitor factor. Prolactin release high mic productions in breast, only needed during breastfeeding. Outside breastfeeding, a hypothalamus continuously secretes prolactin's inhibitor factor, goes to enter pituitary, inhibitor prolactin's production. When the baby starts suckling his mother's breast, releasing prolactins, milk production in breast.
Although the posterior pituitary or neurohypophysis doesn't synthesize hormones, it does store and release two hormones. It consists of axons and axon terminals of more than 10,000 hypothalamic neurosecretory cells. The cell bodies of the neurosecretory cells are in the paraventricular and supraoptic nuclei of the hypothalamus. Their axons form the hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract. Paraventricular and supraoptic nuclei secrete antidiuretic hormones. ADH or vasopressin and oxytocin travel down the axons of these neurons and reach the posterior pituitary. Down the length of these axons, there are small dilations called herring bodies, which stores the hormones until they get the signal to release them. When the time is right, the axon releases ADH or oxytocin into the posterior pituitary capillaries and from there into the systematic circulation.
So this is for the classification of whether are lipid soluble. As you can see, for the lipid soluble, it is a steroid hormone. It is called lipid soluble because the steroid hormones are made by cholesterol. For the example are the production of sex hormone like the estrogen, progesterone, and the androgen. And the next is water soluble. The polypeptide hormones that consist of long chains of amino acids. Of course, this is called water soluble because this hormone like water. And for the example like growth hormone and prolactin.
Conclusion: hormones are our body's chemical messengers. They travel in our bloodstream to tissues or organs. They work slowly over time and affect many different processes, including growth and development, metabolism, how your body gets energy from the food you eat, sexual function, reproduction, and mood. Endocrine glands, which are special groups of cells, make hormones. The major endocrine glands are the pituitary, pineal, thymus, thyroid, adrenal glands, and pancreas. In addition, men produce hormones in their testes and women produce them in their ovaries. Hormones are powerful. It takes only a tiny amount to cause big changes in cells or even our whole body. That's why too much or too little of a certain hormone can be serious. Laboratory tests can measure the hormone levels in our blood, urine, or saliva. Our healthcare provider may perform this test if we have symptoms or of a hormone disorder. Home pregnancy tests are similar. They test for pregnancy hormones in your urine.